Hey, good evening, guys. It's Steve CHA-250HD. Hope everyone's doing okay out there. Today I got a project going on. This is going to be, I'm going to be installing a Comet Charlie Hotel Alpha 25 HD. The HD is a newer version. It's got a little bit, a couple of changes on it, but I'm going to show you what those are. But that's what the antenna looks like. I got it laid out and everything, and I kind of wanted to show you real quick what's going on with it. Essentially, if you read the instructions, you're going to have the first section, which is right here. This is section 1. Then you have the second section, which fits in, and what they tell you in the instructions is to insert it 8 inches into this. So I'm going to take this and slide it into here with the hose clamp. Now the second section is, this is section 2 right here. This is section 3. Section 2 to section 3 is connected by 3 stainless steel bolts here and wing nuts. You also have an optional guy wire loop here that I'm going to use. I'm going to try to put this about, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have it, I'm going to rest it right against this right here. I'm going to rest it between section 2 and section 3, and it'll stop right there, and I'm going to use this screw here to secure it. So that's section 2 to section 3, and then what we're going to do is we go down. We're going to go from section 2 to section 4, or excuse me, section 3 to section 4. This is another set of stainless steel bolts with wing nuts. Now these are a little bit different length from what the ones are over here, so you want to make sure you put the right ones here. This is section 4. In the last section, what's different about this antenna is they changed this to a whip. If you look real close, it's like a whip. In other words, it's no longer a piece of solid aluminum. What they did in the heavy duty unit or heavy duty module was they changed this from a piece of aluminum to just a stainless steel whip. Now what they tell you in the instructions is to line up the end of your antenna and measure 55.9 inches. And you want to measure that exactly to right here. And what I did, I labeled it right here, 55.9. So you can almost see right there, there's 55 inches and there's 55.9. So that is the difference with the HD. HD model is they went with this type of whip, this smaller whip. So that's what it looks like. I'll go through and show you. I'm going to go ahead and go through, and I'm going to use some grease, and I'm going to use some Loctite, and we'll go ahead and get all the fittings prepped. Again, that's what it all looks like there. 23 feet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to do the section 1. This is section 1 here to section 2. So I'm going to use some Permalox anti-seize lubricant for aluminum. And all we're going to do is we're just going to take this here and there's our 8-inch mark right there, so we're going to lube all of this here. Now we're going to insert this into here. This is section 1 or section 2 going into section 1, and they say the insertion depth is 8 inches. I've got it right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and move the hose clamp up. Put it right in the center. I'm going to come back and retighten everything, but right now this is just to get it started. Alright, that looks good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move down to the next section, which will be section 2 to section 3. I think I can just pan the camera over. So here That's what it looks like there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Loctite, and I'm also going to use the aluminum grease. There's 3 holes here, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. I'm going to put the aluminum grease here. Insert the bolts. I'm going to use the Loctite. Loctite I'm using is going to be the blue Loctite, which is not permanent, but it will hold it. So I'm going to put a dab here, dab here, dab here. Put the wing nuts back on. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm prepping everything, and I'm going to go back in the morning and basically just retighten everything. So I'm just getting everything ready tonight, and we will go back and review everything in the morning, take everything, give it a second look. Okay. Alright, this is section 2 to section 3. I'm going to come back and tighten these up here in a second. The wrench. They really have good quality. This Comet stuff is really good stuff. I'm really impressed with it. So what we'll do next is we're going to move down to section section 3 to section 4. So I'm going to pick up the camera real quick and move it down. There we go, right there. Pretty much the same drill. Now remember, these bolts are a little bit different. They're a little bit shorter. So you're going to have a total of 5 bolts. These 2 are shorter. I'm going to pull this out again. I'm going to use the anti-seize aluminum. Back in. Then we're going to use the Loctite. The reason we're using Loctite is we just kind of want to make sure that, I don't think the instructions call for it, but it's a little bit of extra prevention there. We're going to go back and retighten those in the morning one more time, but I think that's pretty good. Alright, the next section we got to do is section 4 to section 5. Now this is the one where we have to measure 55 inches. And all we're going to do here is we're going to simply just, I've already measured the 55 inches from the top, from the very tip of the antenna all the way to right here to this point right here where the insertion point is. And it's 55.9. I'm calling it 55.78. So we'll loosen this up here. Need to grab my Phillips real quick here. Hold on. Okay, we have the correct tools now. I'll loosen this here. This appears to be stainless right here. It's really good quality. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite here. And a little bit of Loctite here. And we're going to tighten it down. Okay. These already came tight from the factory. I'm just going to give them a quick snug. Alright, they both went up a little bit. Okay, so now what we've done is we've gone through and we've secured everything with Loctite. We've lubricated it with the aluminum grease. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of let this set overnight, and we're going to come back and recheck everything in the morning. The ideal is just to kind of go through, do everything, have a second look in the morning, make sure everything is okay, and from that point we can go ahead and move to the next phase. So what we've done is now we've got everything from the tip, section 5 to section 4, and section 4 to section 3. This is the guy wire. This is an optional guy wire that they give you. You can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it to right here and let it rest, and I'm just going to secure it here, and you can guy wire this thing. So the ideal is if you're, I'm going to try it. I'm not sure how it's going to work. They say it's optional, but I'm going to give it a try because this is 23 feet, so it's kind of might be nice to guy wire it in addition to the mast. And then we've got section, this is section 2 right here, going back to section 1. And of course here is the, here's the update they did. They did add a, okay,